So here I was 6 months, a little bit over 6 months ago, and I had this huge desire. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people felt what I wanted. And I talked about, okay, the step 1, wanting it. The step 2, you got it. The step 3, allow it. And this tough time of allowing it. And all you told me was just, you got this. I mean, the desire is so huge that you're going to have it. Trust. Just trust in that moment, in that feeling you have, like in the process and everything, right? So here I am, 6 months later, pregnant of my 6-month baby. Like, it's here. So the manifestation happened as soon as I was out of here, and here, a minute later, here it is, right? So trust, yeah. And I came back and I'm so excited. I'm like, I have to tell Abraham. I mean, this is so easy. And at the same time, people make it so difficult. I make it so difficult, right? So,
isn't it interesting how something as simple as a thought of worry about something, a thought that produces worry, is the reason that what is desired is not allowed by you? Isn't it thrilling to realize that you've got your hand on the valve and you're the one that chooses whether it's open or closed, and that it doesn't matter what other excuses you use, still that is always what it is. So it's just a desire of wanting to feel better and a little practice of finding thoughts that do feel better to make all the difference in the world about anything, no matter what.
Yeah. And then you talked again, like step 1, like ask, step 2, 3, and then examples, you know, like you hear a lot of, oh, I wanted that job, and then action, got an offer, got the job, and the next thing you know, all these people start calling you, right? So, I mean, I already have the job, I don't even want it anymore, why is this happening? Well, like the step 3, that allowing it. You just stop thinking about not having it. Now that you have, you start attracting, again, the boyfriend. I don't have a, you know, broke up with so many. Now I want one. I really want one. And here I am again, you know, attract someone that I like, but then all these ex-boyfriends start calling as soon as I have the boyfriend, you know, like, and this is all it. You just let go, right?
In the subject of conceiving and pregnancy, we've been offering that analogy for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Can't conceive, finally give up, adopt a baby, then get pregnant. And it's because there's no lack of baby. Once you adopt the baby, you're not focused upon the absence of the baby. So you've got the boyfriend, so you're not focused upon the absence of the boyfriend, and then they come out of the woodwork. Someone should write a book about this.
Right. And then the step 4, here is the one that today is being, like, you know, discussed. Step 4, like, okay, we all understand that we can manifest. We have all these examples. The person that was here now, he's turning 65 and running a marathon. I mean, how cool is that? And then the other person that came before, like, you know, the achieving of it, like, and the person feeling that finally he let go and now all these things are happening, and how do I maintain it? So I think this is like the insight we're all getting today. That
so let's talk about exactly that for just a moment, and then we want to hear what else is on your mind.
Of course.
So step 3, get into the receiving mode. Step 4, master that, own that, get into the receiving mode on purpose, stay in the receiving mode on purpose. Step 4, mastery, really good at step 3, mastery of the receiving mode. Step 5 is so important to step 4. Step 4 is so important to step 3, because step 4 is maintaining step 3 for longer pieces of time. Step 5 matters as much to step 4 as step 4 matters to step 3. Having fun with this? We are. Step 5 says, back in step 1 and not mad at myself. Step 5 is accepting the brilliance and the power and the importance of contrast without introducing resistance into my equation by being mad at myself for not maintaining my alignment. You follow that? You gotta chill out. You gotta say, I get this. I know how it works. I might not be doing it all the time, but I know how it works. I got this. I know what to do. I have this example and this example and this example in my own life. Or I heard this. I heard this. I heard this. And so once you acknowledge that you have that understanding, you now know, you now know how these laws work. And now your work is the fun, not the work. Now your work is the fun, not the work. We just use work because you like that word so much. It makes you feel honorable and productive. The work is that it's not work. The work is to find the feeling place of it, find the feeling place of it. And then watch the laws of the universe deliver to you circumstances and events and timing. Yeah.
Agreed. And again, one more thing. Here I was a couple weeks ago in Nepal, where, man, all I heard is, you can't do this, the altitude, and you're gonna get sick, you're pregnant, you can't go somewhere so remote. How about if something happens to you and your baby, or you can't, but just the thrill of it, just being there. And then here I was on top of this mountain, just looking around, and then I thought, my goodness, if I heard to all like that, resistance, all that talk, I wouldn't be experiencing this moment. I wouldn't be here on top of this mountain right now and looking at this beauty and with her. And I'm sure she was experiencing it too with me. And yeah, so delicious. So to close this, I wonder, so I know I'm going to have to be out of her way, and I can't wait for her teachings. I mean, this is so exciting. She's going to teach me so much, and I'm just really thrilled with the whole thing. I want to see if you can tap into her vibration now, and if she can tell us like a little something so we can close
Well,
this.
The powerful thing that we are hearing and feeling is how well I have chosen, how well I have chosen, how well I have chosen. So what's the most important thing that you want to talk about in these last 4 minutes?
Okay, I can go fast. So my business is we provide wireless video and audio. And so I have a hangar filled with transmitters and receivers. And so I had another topic, which was a parenting topic, but I went to this one because of staying in the mode of what we have been talking about. So we built the company little by little, and it's abundant. So the wheel, I made a focus wheel of how it works. So we get a call for a job. And I go, ooh, I want that job. And then it comes to fruition. They, hire us for the job. And we have an FCC license, so we coordinate frequencies in order to transmit the microwave for the receiver to give them real-time video audio. So then we arrive to the job and we start working and we're transmitting the video or audio, and it's like a gift that we're giving to directors and DPs of seeing in real time and being able to make quicker decisions and moving production along. And then as the job goes on, the vibration of what we do expands and intensifies. And then they'll say, oh, well, we need another camera that needs this video. So then it expands more.
Because you make it feel like the next logical step. You've provided this magic, and now their runaway minds are reaching for more and more and more magic.
And they have described us as crack.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then there becomes this deep appreciation of what we've provided, and then the abundance of wealth flows in.
Yes.
And then it starts all over again. So I've been doing this for like 15 years.
Yes.
But I just found y'all in the last like 6 months. And so I'm reading this, the law of attraction. I'm thinking, wow, I can do this in my personal life. I've been doing this for so long that
This is precisely what we are so excited about having this conversation with you about, because you already understand that for any of this to work, that the transmitter and the receiver have to be on the same frequency.
Right.
You also understand that there are so many frequencies out there that for it to be really pristine and really effective and really fast, that you really have to isolate these frequencies in a very precise way.
1.4 gig to 2.3 gig.
Yeah, and so that's what we've been talking about through all of the years and all of the hours that we've been talking, is that's what each of you are doing, but you are tracking it through your emotions. You're using meters and sensors and all of these things in order to examine and determine what the signals are and to make them precise. In your physical world, in the creation of what you are about, it's about holding the thought until you find the thought that is at that precision vibration that allows the transmission and the receiving, you see. This is the thing that we want you to hear. We want all of you to hear in light of what you've heard from her, and you heard enough from her to really get this. So your clients called and put forth a request. That's step one. The contrast is cause of the asking. Step two is that you put the transmitter in place. You identify by looking at what signals are out there and by determining what free frequencies are available. So you do step two. You get the transmitting happening, and then you tune the receiver to receive the signal that's being transmitted. And that's all that we've been talking about here. Except that over time you do the asking, and your inner being then isolates the signal and determines precisely, what signal is right for you right here and now, given the conditions in which you are living. In your life experience, in any of your life experience, you've got these pieces of resistance that you've thrown along on your trail. Your inner being, who is doing the programming for the transmitting of the signal that you're going to line up with, the transmitting of the signal that law of attraction is going to respond to, your inner being takes into consideration every piece of resistance that you've got on the trail. Who's broadcasting in that room, who's broadcasting in that room, what beliefs you hold, all of those pieces are known by your inner being. So a precise signal is orchestrated and offered that will bring back to you every single thing that you want, and off that signal goes. And then your work is, you're in that other room tweaking the receiver so that it can receive the precision of the signal that's being offered. Don't you just love knowing that these laws of the universe are consistent in all things? They're consistent in your physics, they're consistent in your body and your physiology, they're consistent in your psychology. There's not a shred of evidence on any subject that is the contrary to this thing that your gut will tell you how you're doing. We've enjoyed this interaction more than any words will ever explain to you. Unfortunately, you don't rely only on the words that we're offering here, because you're experiencing the sensation of being in vibrational alignment and feeling the difference in what happens as your vibration moves into different stages of connection with who you really are. We really liked this last conversation because we want you to understand. So often we're talking about the vortex, and we're talking about vibrations, and we're talking about things that you don't realize that you've got sensors to read. But when you look to your emotions and you understand what your emotions are feeding back to you, and then you care about how those emotions feel, and you choose the precision of what you're doing, somewhat through trial and error. You try this and you try this and you try this and you try this until you are able to accomplish that. Then.
But the thing about it is that we have accomplished this for 15 years at 99.9% success rate.
Yes.
And so and I don't even know at that 10%, I don't know where that is, but it's like, in my thinking about this is that it's like we have the physical equipment, but what's being transmitted is non-physical, right? And that's how we are in ours.
Now let's stay here just for a moment. We're at the ending, but let's stay here for just a moment because this is rich and important. So the signals have always been out there, but it isn't until you get into a place that you can receive them that you even acknowledge that they are. Everything about everything that you want is already lined up for you, but you have to find the way to match up with the signals so that you can translate it. Those vibrations have always been, but it takes the equipment to recognize that it is and then make meaningful things of it. You've not ever understood electricity, nobody does, but you've got switches that you can flip that bring you the results that you are wanting. And so we're not asking you to understand everything about where you came from. We're not really asking you to understand the vibrational nature of your being. We're just asking you to care about the way you feel and to contour your thoughts as best as you can toward things that do feel better. And as you do that, as you do more and more of that, then the translation of this vibration into meaningful manifestation will be your experience. No point in offering any more words. We think you've got it.